It's recording?
It's recording.
Okay. Who's taking it from the top? You or me?
You can start it.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode 6 of RJ Talks.
So last week's episode was a little. It was rough. It was definitely hard for me to open up. And honestly contemplated posting it. I throughout the week as I was editing it. It was at times I didn't want to post it, but I
Mm-hmm.
felt like we had to because of what we're trying to create here, right? And I think our message should or is, being able, having that ability to be vulnerable, and it wouldn't be fair for me to ask that of you guys if I'm not doing it myself. So even though it was hard for me, I'm sure it was hard for
Yeah.
you to open up. It
Yeah.
was a very, very sensitive topic. I'm glad that we put it out there. And again, if we could help only one person, then it was all worth it.
Yeah. You wanna make sure that we foster men's mental health, overcoming struggles, and obviously, you know, letting a different viewer, women, men,
Yeah,
see what like we think, how people think, you know, to everyone out there who is trying to understand,
right.
how we look at things in life. Because obviously, we don't see life through one lens; we see them through various lenses. So that's one thing that we want to make sure that we touch base with you guys.
Yeah,
And
and that's kind of why we started this, right? The
mhm,
whole idea of this was to really talk about men's mental health and what we go through, and overcoming challenges, our
mhm,
achievements. Honestly, because I feel like that's not really talked about. You
yeah,
guys, there are a lot of men that are talked about, but those are like the very high 1% of 1% of men.
yeah,
Not your average Joes like us. People that go through the day to day grind. That we kind of want to voice what we go through, and
yeah,
hopefully, like you said, kind of open up women's eyes to let them know what we go through. We go through a lot,
yeah.
and it's not easy, but here we are. Trying to give you guys some insight on what it's like to be in our shoes, and hopefully a lot of you guys can relate. And if you don't, then I'm sure there'll be some topics along the way that
That'll interest.
yeah,
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for the support for the 6, episodes. It's
yeah,
been great. We've been having a blast with it. Um, so obviously we want to go ahead and go into what we want to talk about. And today's topic is more about strength and vulnerability, right?
right.
One thing that, or one of the questions that I wanted to start off with was, is men's mental health overlooked or taken for granted?
100%. Definitely overlooked. Definitely not talked about enough. I wish we did, man. Honestly, I wouldn't say it's our fault, but society portrays this image of a man being strong, not really having emotions. But
Mm-hmm.
we do. We have. If I honestly would argue that we have even deeper emotions than women.
My situation, being a bigger guy, being a star athlete in high school, um, being just Hispanic as well, because let's be honest with you, it comes with that stigma too. It's like you got to be this big bad, walking
Machismo,
boulder, no emotions, blah blah blah, and that's what I was growing up on.
yeah.
So to me, like that's where my men's mental health, like it was, you know,
So during that time, did you feel like you couldn't express your emotions
oh yeah, 100%, because
because
it was overlooked.
you had that image to protect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I had that image to protect, and it's one of those things where I walked around and nothing hurt me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nothing hurt me. You can say whatever you wanted. Nothing hurt me, and just the things that I started doing was I didn't give a, a rat's ass about anybody.
Yeah.
Like I was just I'm me, and nah, nothing hurts, nothing hurts, and but deep down, they killed me.
And it's funny that you say that because I remember thinking in high school, like, damn, here's this, big strong guy. Like sometimes he gives off that vibe that he doesn't give a shit about anybody,
Yeah,
But I always knew deep down, bro, like you had a big heart,
yeah,
like like
yeah. Like
you,
once you were in my circle, like
yeah,
I'm like my big hands, big paws, whatever you want to call them. Like I'm
yeah,
protecting you. Like that was just part of my nature, and so to me, like it was just always overlooked. no one, at that time,
Mhm.
no one really reached out, and it was one of those things where I wish I knew how to express myself, because that would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
It would have helped. I mean, even us, we had a pretty, like, up and down relationship at
Mhm.
some point, because we just didn't know how to express
Right.
ourselves, right? And it's like the impact that created in my life was just like loneliness, and always having to, like, wonder, why isn't anyone there? Because I'm over here walking Mr. Big Bad,
Yeah.
and then at home I'm like, why doesn't no one reach out? Why doesn't no one see if I'm okay?
So what changed for you?
I think the ability to control your emotions um, is a big thing that played a part. Obviously, I went through expressing too much,
Yeah.
you know, to expressing less, to then finding that real medium spot of, like,
Mhm.
this is just enough to let you know I'm going through something, but it's not enough to, like, or it's not enough to show weakness, right?
Yeah.
I'm weak, but I'm not, like,
And I would honestly never say you're weak, bro. 100%, I
yeah,
would never say you're weak.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but I mean, I agree with you, bro. I think you. And I remember sometimes you went through a phase where you were just a fucking hothead.
Mm-hmm.
And I was even scared to get you like pissed off, bro. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, like I ain't poking that bear, dude.
Yeah.
And there was also time like we touched base that you acting like you didn't give a fuck about anything. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, but now I'm honestly proud that you've grown and
Yeah.
matured, and so have I. But now we can just have that open conversation of
Hundred
like, hey,
percent.
what's bugging you? Like, oh, this is on my
Yeah.
mind, that's on my mind, blah blah. I don't know how to get out of this, and it's just conversation, simple
Simple.
conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's simple, simple, simple conversations. But for me, right? Obviously, I explained mine.
Mhm.
What about yours? Like, what was your situation?
Well, honestly, I still don't feel like I express myself to a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, I think you might maybe the only one,
Mm-hmm.
and the only reason why it feels like I am is just because we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
But if this camera wasn't there, it's just like
Yeah.
you're really the only person I kind of started opening up to my family a little bit in the last few years, but even then, it's not like the conversations that we have.
Yeah.
And even then, I still don't express myself fully to you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the
No.
last
Yeah.
week's episode, I think I mentioned some things that I've never even talked to you about.
Yeah. No, you did. You really
Um,
did. And I mean,
but
even what was it? A couple days ago that I saw you, you didn't really want to budge. I kept giving you shit, and
yeah,
I have EQ, so I was
yeah,
like, there's something wrong.
yeah,
And then it's like, okay, let's stop giving you shit. What's going on?
yeah.
What's happening?
No, and it helps a lot, and it's still something I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
It's never really a finished product. Like us men, we just don't like expressing our emotions.
Yeah.
Um, so it's still something I'm still learning how to do a little bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to share your emotions with anybody. You obviously want to have trust in that person that
Mm-hmm.
you share them with, and I trust you
Yeah.
100%. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, even what we talked about when Adon was here, we also feel like we don't want to burden other people with our
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
problems. Um, but again, still a work in progress, and it's something I strongly encourage other men to do is just find that one person that you can openly have some conversations with.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't have to open up everything. You don't have to let everyone know 100% of your business, and I don't think
Yeah.
you should. But at the same time, there are some things. Sometimes you just gotta let something out, bro.
So before you go into depth with that, because that goes into my next question, right? How would you break the stigma of vulnerability?
I don't think there is necessarily breaking it 100%.
Okay.
Um, there's got to be a balance between everything.
Yeah.
Everything you do in life, it has to be a balance. But with this in particular, like again, obviously, you want to kind of be vulnerable and share your emotions, kind of share what you're going through, and
Mm-hmm.
in light of feeling some relief or even finding solutions to solve your problems.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, like again, you got to be careful with who you trust with some
Yeah.
information. Not everyone's your friend. Not everyone's going to want the best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just really got to be careful who you express yourself to.
Yeah.
Because like again, there might be someone that's just really out to get you. You never know.
No, I 100% agree, because obviously, even in life, in the corporate world, people are going to pretend to smile and be
Mhm.
your friends. I mean, I've had, man, I've had people that I thought were going to be there forever, and ended up saying the worst things of me.
And it's sometimes
And
it's honestly most of the time it's the people that are close to you, man.
yeah.
And that's what I figured out. I was like, people that I felt would never turn their back on me are the
Yeah.
ones that like, damn,
Yeah.
like you like that hurt, like. So again, you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
You gotta really trust your instinct. And if you get a little red flag about somebody, it's probably best not to
Hmm.
share all that information with people. But
Yeah. And I agree with your answer, right? Like, there's always going to be a balance, especially being vulnerable. Because we talk about being vulnerable, right?
yeah,
And your most, we think about your most vulnerable state is being in the bathroom taking a dump, right? That's your most vulnerable state,
wait,
Like,
hold on. You ever notice like when your dog's taking a shit, the way they look at you?
yeah,
That's because they're in vulnerable
they're
state. But they're
vulnerable.
looking at you to protect them because
Yes.
they can't do shit while they're taking a shit. So
No, I know, and
I don't know. I read that somewhere, so I just had it. So that's like the most vulnerable you ever be, just fucking taking a shit.
yeah, and like I bring that up because like, right, like we, or at least I, don't get that vulnerable
Yeah.
where
You don't want to take a shit with me?
you're kidding. No,
Oh,
no, we're not
gotcha.
holding hands taking a dump.
What?
But you're never gonna catch me being that. I'm an open book. I've always said I'm an
Yeah.
open book, and I'll tell you a lot of information.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that I'm not.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I'm okay with someone turning their back on me and telling me the stuff that I told them, but the real deep stuff, like that'll hurt.
Yeah.
And that's why you do. And I think it's very important for us to find that it's not going to be 10s and 20s and 30 people that are going to have your back 100%,
Yeah.
right? Like we said, like I have you, I have Raph, I have Christian, I have Sam,
I am right.
I know. Oh yeah. This is kicking. This is kicking. I have Jenny. I have
Yeah.
my inner circle of people
Yeah.
that I trust, right? And even in that circle, sometimes those people aren't available. I have my little circle outside of that inner circle that I trust just enough, but I don't see them as often enough. But I
Yeah.
do trust them. It's just hard. It's one of those things where, yeah,
Yeah, and it's good that you have that community, man. Because again, it's but I mean, being personally, again, like I said, it's just mostly you.
and it's funny that you touched the subject on community because that was going to be my next question here is community is a big part of life. How can we build a community that allows vulnerability?
I think a lot of people just need to do their own part, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be that person where you can be trusted,
Mm-hmm.
and also in a way, you got to learn to trust other people. Like me, learning to trust other people is a hard thing for me because I don't fully trust people.
Yeah.
But I've learned to kind of let me give you a little bit, let me give you a little bit. Let's see how you handle this piece of information from me.
Yeah.
And if it gets out, then I kind of already know the type of person you are.
Yeah.
But it also comes with me being able to be trusted. Like
Mm-hmm.
you share something with me, that's in confidence, bro. Like
Yeah.
that ain't getting leaked anywhere. And I love being that person. I love being that person that can be trusted with
Yeah.
that information. It makes me
Yeah.
feel good, and in return, I'm gonna make sure that you continue to have that trust in me.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, everyone has to do their own part in order to build that community. Like you gotta be trusted and
Yeah.
be able to trust.
Yeah, I agree because I mean I'm part of. I don't want to say I'm part of different communities, right? Like obviously, if we've all hung out before,
Mm-hmm.
all my close friends, and you realize everyone is so different.
Yeah.
In my circle of group of friends,
Yeah.
everyone's so different. And that community that I built for myself, like I just like you said, it came with me being vulnerable, me letting slip up right, my emotions, and then seeing your reaction to it.
Yeah.
So like seeing how you reacted to me being sad, and instead of you being like, oh, for instance, if I was to come to you, oh, this person broke my heart, you say, fuck that bitch. Well, that's not really helpful.
That's not helping. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're just like, well, how do you feel? Now it triggers me like, dude, this guy really wants to know how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I can trust him, or her. And so for me, I was just, it was always a certain part where I just slipped up, and then you guys reacted in a way where I was like, damn.
Yeah,
like,
it's that being genuine part because you can tell a lot of people just want that drama, right? They want to hear that drama, like,
God.
and it's crazy because, like you said, bro, I've shared some information when they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, no, really?" And like, like they
Yeah.
like their face is just like they're watching a fucking TV show,
Yeah.
I'm like, am I just your entertainment right now? Or like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say that because I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. Because then you start looking at the people. I've had friends come up to me and say, oh, I'm a dumb so and so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about that. How are you feeling? Like, is this really what you want? Like, do you really want to leave the situation you're in? I mean, everywhere else you're good. You guys have an argument and now you want to leave? Like,
Yeah.
sleep on it, you know? And that's me being genuine. That's me caring for you
Hmm.
instead of like acting out of your emotions, right? Because you could be like, fuck this shit. And then you could feed off of it. Yeah, fuck that shit. Let's
Yeah.
go. And then tomorrow I'm gonna fully regret it. And then I'm gonna be like, why'd you let me do this?
Yeah.
Versus if we come up with a solution when you were, actually trying to look out for me,
Level-headed and
then I can respect that. Well, I did tell you I was feeling like this. You did take the time to listen and really like go over all the options. Like, we're good.
yeah.
But if we just feed off of each other, like, yeah, fuck this. No, yeah, fuck this, dude. Imagine.
Yeah. This madre, bro. This madre.
That'd be
Recipe for disaster, dude.
100%. Too emotional for a recipe for
Yeah.
disaster.
And that's the thing that I kind of want to touch base on too is we're not here to really encourage men to just act out on their emotions, but to control their emotions,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We want them to express their emotions in a healthy way. What's the number one emotion that a lot of men feel? Anger. Bro.
Anger.
Imagine
Mm-hmm.
if we act out on that shit all the time, bro. The world would be a fucking war.
Yeah.
So we have to have that balance of recognize that it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but controlling it, using that energy to build something positive.
Yeah.
The gym is honestly probably one of the best fucking places to be when you're angry, bro.
Yeah.
Just turning that into something positive for yourself.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Maybe going out, taking a walk. Like I've learned to do that.
Taking a breather somewhere.
You piss me off, bro. If you really, really, really piss me off, I gotta take a breather. We're gonna stop talking because I'm gonna say some foul shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather not say foul shit. I'd rather just stop talking. Let me take a hike, and then
You know what also helps too? Have you ever done this where and I do this every once in a while. Not often, but bro, sometimes when I'm just in the car, bro, I just fucking scream, bro.
oh
Just
yeah,
fucking scream. You feel so much better afterwards,
yeah.
bro.
I've done it, but I feel weird
I
out there
feel so weird.
because it's happened to me where I'm driving
Yeah.
and you're at a red light and you're like and I could just feel like the person next to me just stared all like,
At that point, I'll go, fuck, bro. I'm screaming my lungs out, dude.
That's funny. I have tried it.
Yeah.
Somewhat
It
similar.
helps. It helps.
It does. It does.
Just try not to look crazy.
Yeah.
Just know when to do it.
You're about to beat your fucking
Yeah.
steering wheel.
Yeah.
Oh man. But with that, right? Obviously, being vulnerable. Have you ever experienced someone taking advantage of your vulnerability?
All the time, bro. And I think that's why I'm so closed off.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's honestly the reason why I'm so closed off. Why I'm so my last relationship, bro. Like I think there was a point in time where, and this is why like that question comes up if you should open up to your women or not. But in this situation, I opened up. It was something that was kind of deep with me. I ended up crying, bro. I ended up crying, and
Yeah.
a few weeks later, she somehow threw that back in my face.
Oh
She was
hell
like, "Oh,
no.
you cried for this. I can't believe you cried for this." And I was like, "Ah."
Like that was in
From that moment,
confidence.
yeah, from that moment, dude, I
Yeah.
was like, never crying in front of you again. Like that's the last time, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a long period of time, bro, and I think that's kind of what honestly started hurting the relationship. Is just I became cold. I felt like I couldn't express myself after that. Like
Yeah.
just the way she kind of just threw that back in my face, like, "Oh, you cried for this. I can't believe you cried for this." I'm like, all right, but like that's the last time you see me cry.
Yeah. And those things. I mean, even excuse me, even I would hate to get something thrown back on my face, dude.
And it's
Oh
happened.
my
It's happened multiple
god.
times. Where that's why a lot of men are closed off. It's just there's always it's that situation where men are emotional, bro. Like
Yeah. We really are.
I'm filled with emotion all the
Yeah.
fucking time. But during that long period of phase, like it's just I had to suppress that, bro. I had to suppress all those emotions. I couldn't let that out.
Yeah.
And it made me cold for a little bit, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
it made me like not give a fuck about anything. And I hated who I was becoming, but
Yeah.
that's the reason why, like
Yeah.
the person that I, cared about the most, kind of didn't care about how I was feeling. So I was like, okay.
No, I agree. And yeah, to me, it was a similar, I mean, fuck. this was years ago, but it's a similar situation, right? You're vulnerable, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. No one's
Yeah,
perfect.
nobody.
We all fuck up.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that I was perfect in the situation. Maybe I could have handled the situation. No, not maybe. I could have, right? Knowing that man I am today, I could have handled that situation a lot differently. But the fact that I was thrown everything from that past relationship to my face, and like even being accused of certain shit, like I was like, damn, this is crazy.
hmm
Like that, I mean, you were there. That made me different. Like I
yeah,
was like, why is this all getting thrown off? It's like everything I did was I was trying to be genuine, right? But then I get it, like immature. I was immature. I did things wrong. Like I
hmm
will always admit to that. Like I always admit. Like now we can go back and talk. Like
yeah. Taking
a
accountability is the number one thing
hundred
with me,
percent.
bro. Number one thing with
I
me.
had to go through that in order to learn exactly what I did wrong. Because even right now in my relationship, like I'm really mature. Not saying that I'm part of mature, but
Yeah,
I'm really mature in the sense where I let her know how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling some sort of way, I'm like, hey, I feel sad. I don't know why. Don't bother me. Or I'm feeling sad. Let's just lay here, watch the show, and she'll understand. But because I'm being open and vulnerable, you know
right.
what I mean? But now I'm not immature about it.
Yeah,
Whereas back then I was, and you say dumb stuff, and but taking advantage of that vulnerability, I was just, dude, I was in a bad place.
yeah.
I remember I couldn't even drive a certain street because I was like, I can't, dude. I can't run into, said person. And I'm like, fuck, dude.
and
And it was obviously a heartbreak, but
I remember this one thing that you told me that it stuck with me, bro, for
oh
till
God.
now. For me choosing not to open my mouth is me protecting her image,
Yeah.
and that's stuck with me, bro. Because now that's like now kind of going into my situation where
Yeah.
it's
Dude.
like here I am like this like me not opening him up is like okay, I'm gonna protect your image because I still care. I genuinely care about
Yeah.
if I ever at one point loved you, whether it's partners, friends,
Whatever.
if I called you my brother at some point, like I will forever like love you, as a person. I may not talk to you, but
Yeah.
I genuinely have that love for you still.
Yeah.
And but you saying that like, oh, I'm just protecting her image, like that's honestly one of the reasons why I wanted to start this shit. It's just because like people don't hear my side of the story because
Yeah.
I don't talk about it, but
Yeah.
I'm not this bad guy. I'm not that, I'm not this person that I'm portrayed out to be.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes the girl's not the angel that they portray themselves to be, like but I can take accountability for my actions,
Yes.
like I fucked up, bro. I fucked up in my relationship and I'll take 100% accountability for my actions and how that made her feel. But I'm learning from them, bro. Like
Yeah.
the whole, now I try to open up the door for every girl, whether it's a friend or I'm on a date or whatever it is. My
Yeah.
mom or my daughter, I open up the door
Yeah.
for her all the
Yeah.
time. Like I'm learning, like I want to be that man that opens up the door every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
And but it's just learning. You can't really learn if you don't take accountability. And
Yeah, and I think even like it's funny that that's you probably heard me say that, and you're like, you're full of shit, bro.
yeah,
Like you're full of shit, dude. You fucked up.
at that time,
Like
honestly, I'm not even
yeah,
gonna lie,
that's
bro.
what I'm
I'm not even
saying.
gonna lie, but
That's what I'm
but
saying.
it stuck with me all these
But
years,
it's
bro.
so funny that like 10 years later, 9 years later, like we're in this situation,
Yeah,
and you can see, you know what I mean. But this is why, like me walking around as a big bad tough guy,
yeah.
back then I had to pretend like nothing
Nothing
nothing was
bothered you.
happening,
Yeah,
right? So I wasn't going to tell you exactly what's going on, right? I just wanted to not think about it. Let's just go out, have fun,
yeah,
not think about it, and bottle up the emotions. But like now, we've talked about it. We've touched subject on a thing that was 9 years ago, but
yeah.
because it's still something that I've learned from and how to speak. You know what I mean? Speak your emotions, your vulnerability, and stuff like that. So like it's crazy now that you're going through it.
Yeah, dude.
it's like full circle.
Yeah, honestly, dude.
You thought I was full of shit. I'm like, nah, bro.
I mean, not full of shit, some shit.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
yeah. No, now I'm going through it, and it sucks because again, not nobody asks how the man's doing. Like
no,
in that breakup, like not once did anybody ask how I was doing.
yeah,
People. people were like in her corner. Oh, how are you doing? You know,
Yeah.
like what happened? Like blah blah blah. Oh, you poor thing. You know, you can do better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you'll bounce back and all that shit. But who reached out to me? Nobody, bro.
Oh,
Not
well.
my family. Not her family. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
family was supportive. Her like she could talk to my siblings, to my mom, and they'll all be
Yeah.
supportive. You know, but when it came to me, it's like no one like, hey, how you going? How
Yeah.
you dealing with this? You know.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like this one situation where she had done something, and
Mm-hmm.
it pissed me off, bro. And I regret handling the way I did, but at the same time, it's like it was just all that frustration built up.
Yeah.
We were having a family gathering. My mom was there, all my siblings were
Mm-hmm.
there, nephews, nieces. Her mom was there, and she made me feel a certain way, and I was pissed, and she was 100% of the wrong.
Yeah.
But the whole time I was obviously in the mood. I was trying not to show it. And I remember it's like we were trying to eat, and my mom was like, "Oh, ve sirvele un plato, like go serve her a plate." And I was like, "No, I don't want to." Like, "Oh, come on, don't be like that." And they were like, "Why are you being, por qué eres malo? Why are you being like this?" I'm like, here my mom is, trying to paint me as like, I wouldn't say try to paint me as a villain, but trying to already assume that I'm in the wrong,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I blew up, bro. I'm like, nah, fuck that, like she knows why I'm acting like this and blah blah blah, and I
Yeah.
blew up, bro. I spilled some beans that I shouldn't have spilled,
Oof.
and it was ugly, bro. It was ugly, but at that time, bro, I just needed to let it out because everyone's like already looking at me like,
Yeah.
oh, you're such a dick, like blah blah blah. But did anyone ask why?
Yeah.
No, nobody asked why, right? And that's one of the things is like just men go silent. We try to protect the image of the females because we don't want to disrespect them like that. But they're not always innocent, bro. Like
Mm-mm.
sometimes we're not always in the wrong.
No. Yeah.
Um, but like I said, men, a lot of men are genuine guys.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm a genuine guy, and
Yeah. I like
I
to
have
think.
I'll admit that I've had my fuck ups.
Yeah.
I'll openly admit it, but at the end of the day, I think I'm a pretty solid dude.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's us being being conscious about that,
Yeah,
taking accountability, like you said. That's what makes us men, right? And the vulnerability part is just you just needed to find that person, to like talk to at the time,
yeah,
because whenever you were going through this, like you try to find that person, right? And whenever I was going through that, like I had to find that person. Like even though I still considered you a friend, I still consider my friends who are friends right now friends. It was a
my
touchy
friends who are
subject.
friends right now.
Yeah, about to create a rap battle. No I'm kidding,
Oh shit!
but like I just couldn't express it,
Yeah,
right? And now I could. Now if anything was happening of that sort, I'd hit you up, be like, hey, I'm feeling like this, or you can hit me up and hey,
yeah,
what's this. But that's what we talk about: controlled emotions,
yeah,
controlled emotion, and being able to be vulnerable to someone. Because at the end of the day, if you're not vulnerable, if you don't have your corner to be vulnerable with, you're gonna blow up and do shit like that.
yeah.
You're gonna blow up and do stupid shit that I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
You did a lot of stupid
I
shit.
did a lot of stupid shit, but
But so have I. So
that's what I'm saying. Like at the time, you probably looked at me as this, fuck this guy, this fool is stupid or something. But then you go out and do stupid shit. It's like, damn.
he kind of had a point.
He's like, damn, all right. But then, okay. So obviously, with that, um, my next question, and I want to make sure I get this one right, but we talk about, you know, the vulnerability and us having controlled emotion. Who has been like a positive who or what situation has been a positive impact in your life in which you can say like this has made me grow into who I am today, and not
Honest,
just saying the man but like vulnerable part and like expressing your emotions.
like I said before, like I'm still trying to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
But you would probably have to be that person for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Having these conversations, on camera, off camera,
Yeah.
um, it's just it's helping me learn how to be vulnerable again to the right people.
Yeah.
You're the right person for me. You're my boy. We've gone through a lot together.
Mm-hmm.
And on our own. So, but at the end of the day, like I know that you want the best interest for me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I can feel that genuine. care.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I would say it's been you. It's been you, and I'm still learning how to bring other people into my group.
Yeah.
And I often find that I end up caring more about people than they care for me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But I mean, I got a big heart, But I'm slowly trying to trust more people.
Hmm.
But it's a work in progress. It's not as easy as it looks or seems.
Definitely not. No.
Um, but again, something that I encourage every man to do is have that at least that one person that they can call
Yeah.
at 3 a.m. Like, hey, I'm going through this.
Yeah.
Like, can you just hear me out? Yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, even positive impacts. I mean, you've been a very positive impact in my life, Christian, and on the people in my inner circle. They know who they are. I don't have to name them. They know who they are. Everyone's been a positive impact in my life. I remember. I mean, I remember there's a lot of situations. There was a situation, I'm going to talk about this one, but there was a situation. What fucking happened? I forgot what happened,
yeah,
right? And Christian ends up leaving me at the bar, right? He drives me over there because I don't know. We drove over there. And I think I was going through the breakup, and I was out there partying, and like in 30 minutes, I was sad, bro. Sad. I remember listening to Despacito on the fucking on the fucking dance floor.
Yeah, I forgot about that song.
Christian had just left, you know, with his girl at the time, and I remember I was like, "Why am I here,
Yeah,
dude?" I wanted to break down so bad. I call him up. I need you to take me home, dude. I'm almost home. I really need you to take me home. And I hung up. That motherfucker made a U-turn.
yeah,
Came back with his girl. And I was just like, dude, you know, thank you. Like,
yeah.
I need to get out of here. You know, there was that time where that's when that tested us real good. Is I thought you were, dating my ex.
Yeah,
Remember? I told
yeah.
you I was gonna break every bone in your
I
body next time I
remember
saw
this.
you.
Hell yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
remember this.
I
Yeah,
remember it was at the house, and I'm gonna break every bone. Don't let me fucking see you in
those
the
exact
streets.
words
I'm gonna
too.
break every fucking bone in your body. You came, you came knocking 30 minutes later, bro. It's not like that. That's like, and we talk about immature shit, right? That
And
was it. That
I
was real
remember I was at a
immature.
family dinner. Yeah,
You
I was
were,
at a
yeah,
family
you were at a
dinner,
family
so I was
dinner.
like,
And I was mad, bro. You remember? I
yeah.
was mad and mature. I was like, man, fuck you, dog. Like, da da da. But that made me realize, like, yeah, he's right. He
Okay, I was
would
scared, bro.
have.
I was scared, bro. I was like, hell no, dude. Like, let me go fucking shit this shit out real quick.
But and I can talk about different, positive impacts that, that
I
everyone
remember that shit.
has. But it's all about having that, and for me, right, you right now it's just me, and I'm not trying to be like egotistical about it, but I I take pride of that of being your only person, but I also wish you did have other people
Yeah,
too, because there's things that I share with Christian that I don't share with you, or that I share with
right.
you that I don't share with Christian. Because you and Christian, the time when I went to go visit him, dude, we were just watching football the whole fucking entire time, like slobs, bro.
Yeah,
That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. And it's like he knew. Motherfucker was like, I'm gonna order pizza, grab some beers, and we're just gonna watch football. He
yeah.
played all four of them.
I saw
Yeah, he played
that.
all four of them. And everyone was like, you guys aren't gonna do anything? Not knowingly that I just wanted to just chill with him,
Chill,
you
watch some
know?
football, drink some beer.
Yeah, like that's all I wanted to do. So it's like it's crazy that we have, that I have my community,
Yeah,
and that's why, like for me, like even I tell my partner, I'm like, damn, I wish he had, you know, someone to like that's going through at the same
yeah,
time that they can give each other advice. Because like obviously, what you're going through, sometimes I'm not going through it.
yeah,
I've never gone through it, or I have a different lens through it. I can give you my advice, but one person's advice, kind of need that community to like,
yeah.
hey, this is how I'm feeling.
And it's slowly getting there.
Yeah,
Like I said, I'm slowly building trust or learning how to trust other people. There's this dude who I just met maybe a few months ago, bro. Like
Yeah.
we've clicked. We clicked pretty instantly. He's slowly starting to kind of get into my circle,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's slowly getting there. I have some other friends too that kind of just, again, I'm kind of just pushing it a little
Yeah.
bit, kind of seeing how it goes, but it's a work in progress, man. It's a work in
Yeah. And it's not
progress.
saying that you don't love everyone that you meet, right?
Mhm.
Because I do. I love everyone that I meet, but it's that special, that special in a circle. You got to get that Jose VIP, you got that
Yeah,
Jose stamp, here you go. You can come whenever you want,
yeah,
But yeah, I hope you find that because that's essentially why we're building this too.
right.
Like, I mean, for someone who's going through it like I did in high school, I don't want that for them.
Yeah, it's a word, bro. You don't even want that for your worst enemy, bro.
Yeah,
Some
like
of the shit that I felt, like that shit sucks.
for the teenager going through what I went through in my lifetime, I don't want you to go through that. The elementary school, the little fat Jose, you know, I remember, I remember they said you can only be in the cool kids club if you can do a backflip, and it was running through like that fire pole, and then there was another pole here, and then there was another pole in the middle, and you had to run up and do a backflip. Wow! Luckily, I was a fat mobile kid.
I was gonna say, bro, I'm like, if there's any fat kid I trust to get back with you.
I did it. I was like, yeah, and I did it. And there was other kids that did it, and I was
Yeah.
like, they goes, you can't join the club, bro. I was like, I made the cut.
Watch me.
But like, just yeah, it's
So
that
you can do
community.
backflip now?
Yeah, it's sad, bro. I didn't know how to express myself at the time. I wish I knew. I wish I knew what I know now, and like now I look at life, and I look at life as a big picture. I'm happy where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through what I did because I had to, but yeah, I mean, one of the big things that I also wanted to like share with you, or I don't know if you wanted to share too, was like a quote. For me, the one that always gets me, and I'll fucking read it right now. Stupid Rocky, but it's Rocky.
Rocky. Life
Um,
ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
yeah, yeah. Oops. Damn, this thing's hitting, bro. I wouldn't know word for word, but it goes, let me tell you something you already know.
Preach it.
The world ain't all sunshines and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees, keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody's gonna hit as hard as life. All right, I'll do it. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
How much can you take and keep moving forward?
That's how winning is done. That one, I wanted to share that because anytime I see that, dude, I've been beat
Yeah,
bad.
dude.
You've
Yeah.
been beat bad. And I'm sure someone in our viewer side has been beat bad, but life,
But this is why we want to build a community, man. Be there for
yeah,
each other and lift each other up, man. And again, it's just not expressing your emotions or acting on your emotions, controlling your emotions. That's the
yeah,
big part right there.
yeah,
Learn how to control your emotions and use them for something good.
yeah. Because like I mean, right? Like I want to like the anime community, right? You're not a big fan of it, like I am. I can go and talk about random animes, and we'll talk, and it's just like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want this to be. Like, hey, I'm going through this. Hey, DM me.
Yeah.
I got or what can I do for so, and then everyone's just giving their opinion and not judging. You know what I mean? Like
No.
at the end of the day, we've all gone through it. Like I've told you,
We've all done
we've
some
all
dumb
done
shit.
some
We've all
dumb
done.
shit.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. But that's pretty much
What our mission is.
yeah
Why we started this.
why we started this, why we keep moving forward with
Yeah.
this, even in life. Sometimes, I mean, we obviously had a week where we missed out on the episode, but
Yeah.
we learned from it. No, we learned
Yeah.
from it. Like we're learning our flaws and we're trying to work on
We
it.
want to
So
come back stronger and better, and it's a work in progress. But
yeah, but that's all I have.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. We can't thank you guys enough for all the support that we've had. It's honestly been amazing. And we apologize for it kind of slowing down in the recent weeks. Again, life hits hard, and we kind of both went through some things, but we're back, and
we're learning from it. We're gonna get better from it, and like I said, really appreciate the support. Don't forget to follow our socials: YouTube, Instagram, our TikTok. Right, we're a lot more vocal on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Obviously, our TikTok. We're trying to build the page, right? So please help us follow, like, subscribe,
share.
Yeah, share with friends and families, with whoever think can benefit from this. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing it for. We're trying to create even better content. If there's a topic that you guys want to touch base on, we obviously have a plan. But if this topic is highly anticipated, then
we can
work things out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming in and listening to our podcast.
Yeah, and that's a wrap for this week's episode.
That's a wrap.